The World Travel Market Global Trends Report, which is being released as part of this year's World Travel Market, the event where travel agents and tourism boards organise what destinations are going to be popular and the prices for them each year. The report has predicted that selfie sticks are going to be banned globally within major tourist attraction destinations, as well as Brits being more likely to fly out, work out, but pig out on holiday. And to discuss this quite interesting topic, we have a travel expert from World Travel Market, Mr. Paul Nelson. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Okay, let's kick off with the big one. Travel, banning of selfie sticks. What's going on?
Well, I think a lot of the tourist attractions are finding that the tourists themselves are complaining about other tourists using these sticks, and obviously, you're at a venue, it's very busy, and there's, no one really wants anyone waving a stick around, do they? So no. So of course, tourists are complaining. They're complaining to the tourist attractions that it's impacting on their enjoyment as to while they're on holiday. So the resorts and the attractions are responding by kind of looking to ban them. And in the old days, we just used to get the person next to it to take a picture of us. So
Absolutely.
There's no reason why we can't go back to that, I think.
It's like South Africa and the Vuvuzela. It's so annoying, that noise during the World Cup. They should have banned that as well. But I'm sure you touched on that in your report a couple of years ago. So an interesting point here. Brits are more likely to work out when they go abroad. Don't they want to lie on the beach anymore?
I think we do. You still want to do a bit of lying around and fly and flop, as we call it in the trade. But at the same time, I think we find that we're all so active now with work, and we get stressed, and you want to do a bit of flying and flopping, but then you get a bit bored, really. So you want to work out, and there's another piece of research which actually said that we don't work out anywhere near as much as our European counterparts. So I think it might be that we feel a bit inferior and we need to catch up.
You're probably like me, Paul. Your body's a temple, probably. You just need to top it up while we're away.
Not really this week, unfortunately. Maybe when I get back home.
Okay. How does World Travel Market dictate where UK consumers will holiday next year?
Well, it's absolutely essential, to be honest. So we've got 5,000 exhibitors here at Excel for the 4 days, from 186 countries. £2.5 billion worth of deals are signed and agreed over those 4 days. And basically those deals are what the holidays that you and I will see in the brochures and see on the websites. So the discussions that are taking place here and the deals that are being signed are directly linked to where we'll go on holiday next summer and the year after. This is, if you like, the London Fashion Week of the travel industry.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. I've got to ask you, obviously the news, there's this dreadful news, Sharm el-Sheikh Airport and this terrible disaster last week. They're not 100% sure exactly what happened. Let's make that quite clear at the moment. But where would you advise people to travel if they sort of were going to go sort of the Middle East? Would you recommend sort of somewhere further afield?
Well, what I would recommend is just to go onto the Foreign and Commonwealth Office website and have a look at their advice. They work very closely with the travel industry, regular meetings all the time, and are always in communication. And they know where's safe and where isn't. So always follow the Foreign and Commonwealth Office advice. And to be honest, wherever you're going on holiday, before booking, you should just have a look at the advice, because it's not just about stopping and saying where people can and can't travel. There's very good advice on there as to how you should behave and what you should get up to when you're on holiday as well. So I definitely recommend always checking out that website.
Well, excellent point, because obviously we've got the Tunisia disaster as well, the awful things as well. So I had to touch on that for obvious reasons. So were there any surprises in this year's Global Trends Report compared to previous years?
Well, it's quite interesting looking at the makeup of the event and some of the new exhibitors that we got, and exhibitors that are taking up more space than they've taken previously. So that's an indication that they're really investing within their travel industry and really looking to build infrastructure and get more of us tourists over. So one country which is what you might find quite interesting is Iran. So obviously Iran has been in the news quite a lot recently, regarding the kind of the being brought back into the international fold, and very quickly upon that, the travel industry is kind of taking advantage of that. Some of the major travel hotels and travel companies are looking to invest in Iran. The Iranian government's looking to introduce tourism infrastructure, and they're here, looking to get that investment further and strike deals with tour operators from all over the world, including the UK, to kind of get holidaymakers to come over. It'll obviously be a slow process, and you're not going to see millions and millions, and we're not all going to be switching from Spain to Iran overnight, 2016 and 2017, but they're definitely looking to use the tourism industry to kind of help the country to say get back into the international fold and kind of build and evolve the country.
Yes, I mean Libya's another place, isn't it? I mean that's somewhere else that is trying to develop relations with the West, for want of a better expression, improve the tourism.
Yeah, Libya's got great potential. It's
Beautiful
got the
places,
it is. The people are really friendly. It's got the longest coastline within the Mediterranean.
That's correct, yes.
Obviously, the main airport, Tripoli, is right on the coast. So the potential that Libya has, if it can get its infrastructure and sorted out, is phenomenal.
We're certainly getting there. I mean, China a few years ago was a place nobody would go to. Now we're very friendly with them, and planes are taking off from Manchester very, very soon on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, we've seen from the visit that we have from China, and we've polled our exhibitors and also 2,000 holidaymakers, and seen that China is one of the destinations that they're kind of most interested in visiting. So
Yeah.
if China can get the marketing right and can strike those deals at World Travel Market this week with the right tour operators, and as you say, flights are already being introduced, then I think we'll see that will be a big destination for UK travellers going forward.
Very, very much so. Are there any new destinations open for business that you wouldn't necessarily consider being a holiday destination, Paul?
Well, as I said, Iran and China, there's another one that obviously that's coming up. Libya's another one that we discussed. There's a lot of countries that, if you like, have had controversial past or difficult
Yes.
periods in their history that really use tourism as a way to rebuild infrastructure and rebuild the country. So I always think when you look at somewhere like Vietnam, that's
Yes, of
so
course.
popular now with tourists and
Even
for
Cambodia
tourism.
to an extent.
Cambodia, and even closer to home, you look at Croatia. It was only 20 years ago that as part of the old Yugoslavia
Yes,
was
that's right.
involved in a real, terrible, bloody civil war, and now it's the fastest growing country within Europe for tourists, and it's absolutely beautiful. Some of the islands of Croatia are lovely to visit, and even closer to home than that, Northern Ireland. Its figures for tourists are absolutely booming.
Brilliant.
So it's tourism and the industry is central with kind of really being able to rebuild the country and get it back into the international fold and bring in that. It's new money, isn't it? When you go
Yeah.
over to somewhere, that's money you wouldn't have got otherwise. So yeah, it really does play a part in that.
What about eco-tourism? I spoke to a lady yesterday about Trinidad and Tobago being a marvellous destination because of its wildlife and rainforest.
Rare responsible tourism is a really big part of World Travel Market, and the industry is really looking to support that. There's a balance and there's a debate within the industry, obviously, and I'm sure you would have seen numerous stories where we send loads of tourists over to places, but we need to be careful that those tourists don't damage the natural environment that they're going over to look at. So yeah, it's a big part of the event, discussing that, how we get that balance right, because as I said, tourists bring money to underprivileged and developing countries and really do help to develop countries, but at the same time we need to make sure that they don't damage countries at the same time.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we do. That's a really big part of the event, responsible tourism.
I mean, I read as well, slightly different question, but I read that low-cost, long-haul travel might be making a bit of a comeback, especially transatlantic. How likely is that?
I think it's very likely, to be honest. I was talking to one major UK tour operator who was telling me about how they are moving a lot of their fleet and a lot of their capacity to long-haul destinations. So, we've touched on China, and we've touched on Iran, and we've touched on Mexico's another one, which is getting a lot of capacity coming in. So a lot of the major tour operators are really looking to move their fleet and their capacity to some long-haul destinations. It's actually not that much more expensive to go long haul than what it is to go short haul, and with the technology and how comfortable the new planes are, it's really growing as a trend. So I think you'll see on top of that a lot of the low cost carriers will start to look at long haul routes. Ryanair for a long time has been talking about flying over to America and doing that, and there's different low cost and no fuels routes all around the world. So yeah, it could well be quite possible quite soon to be flying to the US for a tenner and flying around the world for under £100.
Sounds good to me. If ever you see any of those deals, Paul, please give me a
Yeah,
bell.
will do.
So where can our listeners go for further information?
Go to our website, which is wtmlondon.com.
That's probably Paul Nelson, travel expert from World Market, or should I say World Travel Markets. Thank you much indeed for joining us on Big City Radio. Very interesting. Thank you.
No time. Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye-bye.